Papa, oh, Jolly Papa, Malaysia, Jolly Papa, Malaysia, Papa, oh, Jolly Papa, Malaysia, If I am a Mara, I was the one I want you If I am a Mara, I was Tamuno take, Tamuno go. Opa Sizio, Beba ho, Mega. Gomi Melo Anio. I say, Jana, the dog, I say, you're at your phone. Beba ho, Mega. Kali Papa, Moesia, Papa, oh, Jolly Papa, Moesia, Jolly Papa, Moesia, Papa, oh, Jolly Papa, Moesia,
Let the universe bear witness to the sacred code. The ground beneath us does not yield to seasonal guests. The tenant cannot sack the landlord. The employee can never sack the employer. Mazinambi Kanu remains the supreme leader of IPOB. His command is final. Whatever he says goes. Pursuant to the strict authority of the supreme leader and the sacred unyielding IPO code of conduct, the third administration of the DOS is hereby dissolved. The sentence is passed, your names are permanently erased. Chikaedozi, you are sacked. Tonin Surumike, you are sacked. Austin can fire the boss. Tenant cannot sack the landlord. Mazinamikano is the leader. The supreme leader of IPO. The trials through the chains. His word remains absolute. Whatever Mazinamikano says, Lord. Whatever the supreme leader says, Lord. They thought darkness could hide the shadows of greed. They forgot the soil remembers every treacherous deed. After the illegal extraction, when the leader was taken away, the enemies of the struggle came out to play. Governor Nehuma, he paid $500,000 of blood money bribe to buy collars for the scholars of shame. They took the cash, sabotaged the release, and traded the crown, private media houses, just to tear the leader's legacy now. But the truth is a rock, it crushes the hand that betrays. But in the darkest hour, the true guardian stood high, refusing to let the message of restoration die. We lift our voices to honor the ones who defended the light, the shield of the truth. In the dead of the night, thank to Biafra, thank God, media for standing support, for ensuring the untold, the truth was always told. Salute to the dedicated souls of heaven, standing the test. Salute to the rising sun, unyielding and blessed, and the ambassador for self-determination marching ahead, keeping the fire burning for the living and the dead. You defended the leader, you shielded the name from the stain. Oh, whatever Mazinamikano says goes. Whatever the supreme leader says. The fourth force is here, working with global power to heal the land. The genocide must stop, the boss has spoken. Victory is absolute. Biafrans demand for justice for Maazi Simon Ekpa Joko, a prisoner of conscience in Finland, who is standing to save the life of people. Justice for Simon Ekpa Joko. Justice for all Biafrans. Let us continue to demand for justice for Maazi Simon Ekpa. He is innocent and must be released unconditionally. Nigerian government is the one responsible for all atrocities happening in Biafra land. Maazi Simon Ekpa Joko is innocent and must be released. Justice for Maazi Simon Ekpa. Justice for Biafrans. Adomina, 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 Anyama, Anyama, Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like and share the program on all platforms. Share to family and friends. Share to anyone that is close to you. Inform them to join us. It is time. Let us begin. Keep sharing on your platform. Share to family and friends. Share to our enemies. Share to those that have questions. Those that have superior arguments. Share to them. Let them come.
Let me say something. Biafrans, please, this is our Prime Minister. We came here, we are not allowed to come, but they just surprised us. And we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Yes,
the government are the one responsible for the killing of our people.
yes, we all know that.
I am here because of the life of our people.
Yes.
And we are not giving up.
Yes, no, never.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Honestly.
This is a wicked world. This is a confusion world. Paligram.
you show you. About the one lady girl. Money they go to work. Money they work for man. Then I enter for motor. Wherever they go. Wherever they go. Opposite goodie. But then at the end the side. Along the school road. I see people run around. I see people run around. Then I say, and I'm waiting they happen. And I'm waiting they happen. And I'm at the body bar. See no day for talk. See no day for talk. Because you take your eye and see. Then I got the driver. And I'm waiting. And I'm waiting. This is my weekend word. This is like a official word. This is too body brand. Body brand. I mean, legally you show you.
Biafra spirit never dies. From the roots to the sky. In the silence of the night, we still call your name. Through the storm and the struggle, we carry your faith. Though the walls may be high and the chains may be strong, your voice echoes louder every freedom song. Oh, we remember your courage, we remember your stand. For the people, for the future, for the promised land. Even when you're not here, your spirit still leads. In the hearts of the people, in our words and deeds. Oh, we don't go tired. We don't go fall. Through the fire, we stand tall. We know he will be free. Oh yeah. In our hearts, in our dreams, we believe. Simon Ekpa, we call your name. Born for the struggle, born for the flame. We know he will be free. One day, through the night, we go see better day. We miss your voice, your guiding light. But your spirit keeps the fire burning bright. From the streets to the villages, the message go round. Every voice, every soul in a freedom sound. No prison can silence what the truth has begun. Like the rising of the moon and the shining of the sun. Hey, they can try to hold you down, but they don't understand. This is bigger than a man, it's the cry of a lion. From the elders to the youth, everybody know. Freedom is a seed and it's already grown. Oh, we go rise again. We don't go fail. Through the pain, your voice we hear. We know he will be free. Oh yeah. In our hearts, in our dreams, we believe.
enweghị n'ọmụma iwe dị adịta anya ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị agbata ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị kunye ka ọ bụ ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ịbata ebe ala enyi wee kpokwu edebe ya isi anyị bụ ka anyị kpọpụ onye nwaanyị n'ime ọwụsa ahụ ejiri anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụla anyị mara ebe n'ime ha sị ka ha aga n'ihu edekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri igwe ọcha wee mebiri ọhịa nke nna kara n'otu aka ahụ anyị na-alasọ ebe Biafra ebe ndị kọstọm si obodo anyị n'etiti anyị anyị anaghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwe kwesịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwe kwesịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke biri igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya isi ebo ndị nọ anya wee karịa n'ike agwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke agwa ọma anyị na anyị na-aza agwa ọma anyị nwe na-asị nke Chukwu agwa ọma anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke agwa ọma anyị nwe na-aza Chisom agwa ọma anyị nwe na-aza Chizọba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dị ọzọ ihe dị na n'igbo ọbụla ya ka iwe nzọpụta anyị ya ka iwe na-apụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ndị ya ka iwe nọrọ anyị ọgụ ya ka iwe dị etu osi ọgwụgwọ nwa mmeri nyere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ofe mmeri ha ofe site otu a mee ka fero ka ọ gụzọ n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebido wee taa ndị dị ụtọ ọsọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndekọrụgbo nke ọrụ ọ bụ ụmụ akwụkwọ ekekere n'igwe ọnọgwụ onye ọbụla kere gị onye malitere ụlọ ọgwụgwụ kama anyị nwe anyị gwa agbakọ ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-abụ n'ezie kama ma akụ na okwu gị na-adọgị ebe obi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya anyị wee na-asị na nke dị nsọ leki iwe gosi anyị Biafra ha na-abụghị n'ọnwụ laki iwe na-echebe gị na ma anyị nwe mkpuchiri anyị nke ukwe laki iwe zọpụta ndị nke laki iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ejide na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye mkpuchi oke abịa
Like and share the program to all platforms, share to family and friends. Let's hear a message from Mazi Simon Ekpa, then we kick off our program. The next few minutes.
Program today. Welcome. I am not going to waste time on this broadcast. I have just only come here to inform Biafrans that tomorrow we are embarking on the exposition of this Islamic State party. We are going to embark on the exposition of the fraud that they want to use Tinubu and Shetima to do. Tomorrow we are going to embark on the enlightenment, awareness, and to inform our Oduduwa brothers and sisters of the impending danger that is about to befall them. Tomorrow we are going to embark on this awareness for the restoration of Biafra. And so, if you notice, I have been playing and streaming a very wonderful job done by the Truth TV. And for that reason, I came very late because of series of meetings. I am going to drop yet again another scripture today because we are now in the holy days of our time in the struggle.
Let us hear the scripture before we start the program.
I am going to read the scripture. I am going to read the scripture.
A word from the scripture, pay attention.
And I want you to pay attention to the scripture that I'm about to read. Remember that we are still in the Bishop of Albado. Bishop of Albado, the end of Nigeria. We are part of it. Because Bishop of Albado. So let me read the scripture today. I want you to pay attention to the scripture. We are reading from the book of Obadiah. The book of Obadiah. From the book of Obadiah again. Obadiah chapter 1. book of Obadiah, chapter 1. We are going to read from verse 10. Pay attention. This particular scripture goes to all the enemy. From the book of Obadiah. You people are funny. I do not understand. I do not understand why some people are laughing at Obadiah. Alright. The book of Obadiah, if your Bible does not have Obadiah, it means you have an incomplete Bible. Somebody say it is called Obadiah. No, it is not Obadiah. Who told you that it is called Obadiah? Huh? Who told you it is called Obadiah? Somebody say it is called Obadiah. Who told you that? I am telling you how it is called. You are telling me it is Obadiah. Yeah? No, it is called Obadiah. Obadiah. Do you think it is an English name? Listen to me when I teach you, so you don't do mistake. That word is not an English word. Okay? So you cannot say this is how to pronounce it. It is called Obadiah. Okay? It is not an English word. Are you going to prove me wrong? Is it an English word?
No.
I am asking you, is that word an English word, English name? No. Even if it is English name, it is not. Listen to your bishop. Listen to bishop. We have come to complete and take it up from where they stop. What we do is that where their madness stop is where our own madness will start. Where the Islamic State in APC and all the jihadist movement and their government, where their madness stop is where our own madness will start. So follow me to read Obadiah. You can even use you to call it Obadiah. Original Igbo name. It was original Igbo. From Obadiah, you now get Obadiah. You know, when you want to refine the name to sound more of English, you can say Obadiah, but it is originally from Obadiah. Okay? When I'm telling you people, listen, it was originally from Obadiah. Okay, from Obadiah you get Obadiah. So it is Obadiah. Just agree with me. Let us agree that it is Obadiah, okay? You were not there. Me and you were not there. Yeah? But I can explain it better. So if my explanation is more better, believe me. Okay? Because we know they're there. Alright. So we are reading from the book of Obadiah from chapter 1 from verse 10. He said, for violence against your brother Jacob, for violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever. Are you all listening? Let me repeat it again. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10, says, for violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and you shall be cut off forever. All of you You know that this is a special week. Okay? What has happened today? Some of them, all the things they have done in the past, they have gone back to it and start taking growth. They are taking growth. After the wage violence against their own body. Let me read from 11. In this one, go to Nigeria. In the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that strangers carried captive his forces, when foreigners entered his gate and they cast lot for Jerusalem, even you were as one of them. Hey! Are you people following? The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 11, said, in the day that you stood on the other side, in the day that strangers, Fulani government and their politicians, strangers carried captive his forces, when strangers entered his gate, when strangers entered our land, and they cast lots for Jerusalem, even you, the people that claim they are fighting for Biafra, even you were one of them. Even you were one of the strangers. Even you were one of those who have come to carry the forces captive. You are doing it to ESN, your days for doing that is over. They carried our forces in the Eastern Security Network captive. Today, it is over. It is over. Go and read the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, from 10 to 11. I am going to repeat it again because it is very, very important. In the day that you stood on the other side, they stood on the other side of Nigeria. They stood on the other side of Peter Obi. The people that brought you and gave you oath to take, not to betray Biafra. They called you and they gave you oath. You don't know that some of them actually did not take oath. They gave you oath. Tell you, you must not disobey and betray Biafra. In the back, they were not fighting for Biafra. The worst part of it is that they followed the stranger. When stranger came to attack Eastern Security Network, they were one of them. When DSS came to kill Ikoso, they who gave you oath were one of them. When Mazin Nnamdi Kanu whereabouts, location, details were given while he was in Kenya. Those who made it known to the enemy, those who taking oath and gave oath, one of them. The book of Obadiah is telling you this. Anytime our Eastern Security Network come under attack, that have given somebody oath, even you that claim to be an oath member to protect and defend Biafra. You will be one of them. Today, we were told that the leader of a Bubago in Imo State is an IPP. But our boys, our brothers and sisters are being murdered in their cold blood. When these strangers come to kill our young men, you and I who took oath, you were one of them. Are you following? But let me continue to 12. But you should not have gazed on that on the day of your brother. In the day of his captivity, nor should you have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. We call for sit-at-home to show our anger, to demonstrate that the Biafra people are one, and we are now speaking in one language. They say, no, they came against it. Because they, when the stranger come to kill, they were one of them.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us on that very morning program. I appreciate every one of you that have joined us on this program. Thank you for joining wherever you are joining. Thank you for your patience, waiting, and listening to the message of our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa. As I have always told you, every single message I play, every single video I play has a message to deliver. It is left for you to listen carefully, understand, put away your sentiment, and get the information. It is left for you to get the information if you want to. But if you choose not to have the information, it's still up to you. The choice is yours. I'm not going to be the one to make the choice for you. So wherever you are joining us this morning, I welcome everyone that have joined. Whether you are watching on TikTok, you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on YouTube, you're watching us on X. Anywhere you are participating in this program, I welcome you and I thank you for being part of the program. As you join us on this program, one thing you have to do first is to like the program and share. Like the program and share. Share to those you feel they need to hear us out. Share to your family and friends. Share to your neighbors. Share to our enemies equally so that they can come and present their questions. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We do not come to this platform to preach hate. We do not come here to attack people or individuals. All we do in this platform is to present Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the failed state Nigeria. That is what we do. Nigeria being a failed state is not a propaganda nor a blackmail. We are not saying it to make them look bad. It is a statement of fact. If you want to know if Nigeria is a failed state or not, go and make your research and look at the indices of a failed state in Nigeria. You will find even more. The failure of Nigeria is not just in words. All it takes is for you to pay attention. You will understand that when you call Nigeria a failed state, it is even an understatement. Many countries of the world have confirmed it. Courts of the world have confirmed it. And leaders have confirmed that Nigeria is a failed state. Including people that are in that Nigeria, they have equally confirmed that Nigeria is a failed state. So it's not as if I'm making anything up or telling you what you have not had before. These are information that are in the public. That is why we, the Biafrans, want to walk out of that entity called Nigeria to have a better life. Nigeria is not for you. Neither is it for me. Nigeria is not for anybody. Not for the Igbos, not for the Yorubas, not for the Hausas. None of these major tribes was signatory to Nigeria when it was formed. And today, none of them can boast and say they benefit from the Zoological Republic. Even the Yorubas with the presidency, you can see that their land is the most insecure place you can find in Nigeria today. Yoruba land is the most insecure place you can find. We, the Biafran people, have done a great work. That in the entire Nigeria, Biafrans has tried as much as possible to keep themselves safe and not to go to IDP camp. Even when the government itself have come against our people with different kinds of methods of attack to push us into IDP camp, to take away our land for us, our people have remained resolute and they never gave up. And we will continue to stand strong. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching this program, I urge you in the name of Chuks to hold yourself and be strong. Our duty is to present Biafra to the world as a remedy to a failed state Nigeria. How do you present Biafra as a remedy? It has to do with your attitude, your character, your behaviors. How are you representing Biafra where you are? How are you representing Biafra in your platform? Are you representing Biafra by insulting your brothers and sisters and calling them names? Are you representing Biafra by creating confusion, abusing and insulting people unnecessarily? Every one of us as Biafrans, we are ambassadors. And at this point in time that the entire world is focusing on the issue of Biafra, they are focusing on Nigeria. It is time for everyone to behave themselves. It is time to keep sentiment aside and focus on our collective goal. That is why in this platform we admit all views. Everyone that joins us, you are entitled to your opinion. We are not mandating anything on you. The only thing we do is to broaden argument and discussion, and you, by your own self, will make your choice what you want and how you want it. While we are anchoring our program, if you have any question or contribution to make, you have a superior argument, you don't have to be on the comment section and constitute nuisance. All you need to do is to ask for a link. Either you send me a request or you ask for a link, then I will bring you in to air your opinion. No matter what the opinion might be, I'll give you time to speak. But while you are speaking, make sure you are standing on the truth. Make sure you have an evidence to defend what you are speaking about, because I'm going to ask questions. In this platform, we are not dumb. And we are people that have independent mind. Anyone that have been following me on this platform, you know, you must have an independent mind to follow effectively. I say it over and over again. My platform is not about group. It's not about sentiment or supporting one person or the other. No. It is for the restoration of Biafra. It is for mankind to protect and defend humanity. That is why we are here. So as you join us, I urge you to come with your independent mind. Keep your group mentality aside. Later on, you can pick it up while we are in this program. So I welcome everyone that has connected wherever you are connecting. We are still here today to look into the update on the case of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. You and I know that the case, the defense of Mazi Simon Ekpa started officially yesterday. The defense started officially yesterday. And that yesterday, many things happened. Yesterday was the foundation of the defense, where Mazi Simon Ekpa will lay to the court some of the reasons why he did what he's doing, why it is necessary for us to get out of Nigeria, why we established the organizations we established, the unit and defense we established. Yesterday was an opportunity for him to make those statements through the prosecutor. And the defense was opened yesterday. Today is a break. Tomorrow is Saturday. And Sunday, there will be no court. The major defense case is going to be happening on Monday, being 17th. Remember, many people have been advised to come back on 17th, and many are coming back on 17th. And Dr. Mazanga also spoke about the 17th as the day the ultimate defense will be done. Wherever you are and you're watching this program, you have a responsibility, you have a duty to support our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, as long as you are a Biafran and you believe in the cause of Biafra. This is not about group. This is not about section. As I always say, you can be in any group you choose to be in, but let your purpose of being there be Biafra. If you enter into any group and you discover that their purpose of gathering is not Biafra, please look for somewhere where the purpose is for Biafra and channel your energy to Biafra actualization. Do not get yourself involved in attacking your brother or sister or engaging in any form of saga. In the claims of superiority and all that, those are absolute rubbish and has nothing to add to the agitation. Mazi Nandekano has begged for unity. Mazi Simon Ekpa has begged for unity at this critical time that we are. As I always say, it is not only Biafrans that are observing what we are doing online. It is not only Biafrans. And I told you that public opinion, public perspectives, mostly always has a contribution to make in cases such as the case of Mazi Nandekano and Mazi Simon Ekpa. Public opinion matters a lot. They are going to be visiting our platforms and they're going to be listening to what we are saying and how we are reacting. That is why when you join any platform, please, if you find out that you don't like what is being said, or you cannot align yourself with what is it, all you got to do is just gently leave the platform and go where benefits you. There is no need to construe nuisance on the comment section. There's no need to abuse anybody or insult anybody. Once you go to a platform and you find out that the message is not in line with what you feel is right or you believe, simply walk away and search for a place where you will get a message that will motivate you to pursue the cause of Biafra. Because that is the only reason why we all gather. The common interest that every one of us has. Every Biafra agitating group, they are all fighting for freedom. And if you find out that where you are, they are not fighting for freedom, I don't know why you are still there. I don't know why you are still there. our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, is on a hot seat, defending you, defending me, defending our Supreme Amazon Nandekan on international ground. It is not a child's play. Yesterday in the court, many things came up. The defense have started. And what we are supposed to be doing is to go along with what is happening in the court, revealing all those details that are coming from Nigerian court. There were so many information, even in their newspapers and their news. We are Nigerian government, we are indicted in crime. More especially Amnesty International, in many cases, indicted Nigeria for disappearance of many Biafrans. There was one that we saw last time, a husband and wife, who were kidnapped in their home in the middle of the night for past 6 or 5 years. And they left their children. They had children. They came in, took the husband and the wife, and left the children. These children have not seen their parents till now. Nobody knows if they are dead or alive. And Amnesty International reported that. And so many other information in the public. These are what we are supposed to be highlighting. Continue to bring it to the attention of the world. So those who did not see, or those who see and they pretend, we know what we are passing through and why Martin Simon Ekpa is doing what he's doing. Why Martin Nandekan is doing what he's doing. As Martin Simon Ekpa is in the court defending you and I, we need to support him outside. In your platforms, continue to post all those indictments of Nigerian government. There are so many of them. From Amnesty International, from human rights groups, from some investigative journalists, where Nigerian government sponsored genocide and terrorism and the killing of the innocent. More especially Nigerian army, they were involved in many atrocities. Nigerian army were involved in many atrocities. And we saw them. They are in the public. So what we are supposed to be doing is to highlight them. Continue to highlight them. Because I bet you public opinion matters in this case. Public opinion matters a lot. You know how Nigerian government is good in using the media to create a narrative against someone. And each time I speak about using the media to castigate or to nail a person, I give you example of the former Minister of Petroleum, Discerning. I like to use her example because that is the most recent one. Discerning is the most recent one that we can be able to see. How they use the media to create for themselves a reality that does not exist. That in Nigeria today, every child believes that Discerning is a criminal. Or even when she has been vindicated in the UK, there are so many people in Nigeria, and they will not hype the case for the fact that she has been vindicated. They are not going to go back and to correct the wrong they have done. They have destroyed her reputation in Nigeria, termed her evil and devilish. But in the United Kingdom, she was vindicated. She was vindicated in the United Kingdom from all accusation that was made against her. All the fraudulent charges were cancelled. They are doing the same thing to Mazen Nandekano as you and I are speaking now. As you and I are speaking, they are using the XDOX, Chika Joseph Nachira Samoro group that we are sacked. They are using them to create a narrative against Mazen Nandekano in order to turn the public opinion against him. This is a contract that will have been given to some group of people, including the one that called herself Nneka Chimezie. And so many of them, they have this contract to change the narrative, tarnish the image of Mazen Nandekano, and create a different narrative, showing the world that Mazen Nandekano is against his people, or his people is against him, or that he is an evil person. And that is what they are doing with the media. Tomorrow, you saw some group of individuals who came on my program yesterday. And when they came, when they asked the first and second question, I already know where they are going. All they do is to go to platforms and tarnish the image of Mazen Nandekano with lies. And you saw the example he was giving me, and when I gave him back what he was saying and disprove all his lies, there's nothing you could do than to begin to challenge and begin to make noise and shout. You can imagine a Biafran who claimed to be in this agitation coming to talk about Tony Nadi as an agitator, Tony Nadi as somebody who is fighting for freedom. On which planet? On which planet? On which planet? Tony Nadi that cannot free himself, that was only trying to clown a clownish move he was making, working for who I do not know. Going around speaking grammars and looking for whom to deceive. And when I gave him the history of the man, I'm asking, where is he now? And how far has he gone? He has no other thing to sit and begin to fight. They came with the blackmail against Master Simon Ekpa of enforcing sit at home. Meanwhile, we have evidence of those who were enforcing the sit at home. We have the evidence of those who claimed they were ESN, meanwhile they were not. And we saw the confession of those who revealed the actual people. A confession online. And the idiot was in this place denying that confession was not giving the person a different name. A confession that is still on Facebook till tomorrow. You go to Facebook, you see it. Where they asked the boy his name, he said his name is Ejima. And this Ejima said that the people that are sponsoring him is the SDOS. He mentioned China Samoru, Chikeduzium. They are the people that were sponsoring him. And they sent him to go and take the life of a traditional ruler. But you see how that idiot came to this platform and he was telling me about Onyami. And in the confession of Onyami, did Onyami call Mazen Nanika and Mazen Nanika to send him to any operation? Or did he call that Mazen Samara send him to anywhere? Did he mention the name of Mazen Samara? Is there any video anywhere where the name of Mazen Samara will be mentioned? No. He went on to blackmail that a pregnant woman was shot during the sit at home. And Mazen Samara came and said that she regretted the loss of a pregnant woman during our sit at home. And so therefore, for him, commensurating with that family means that he is taking responsibility. So does it not mean that when every one of us was commensurating with the family of Deborah, when they killed Deborah in the north, every one of us regretted the death of Deborah till tomorrow? We are still commensurating with her. People across the world were commensurating with Deborah. Does it now mean that because we are commensurating with Deborah, we are the one that caused the death of Deborah? Even when they were killing in the north, when the terrorists attack, we commensurate with them. When farmers, about 90 or 60 farmers were murdered in cold blood, we commensurate with them. When the Yoruba people attacked in their home, we commensurate with them. Does that now mean that we are taking responsibility? But these are the narratives they create online. And this is why we need to be active online. Because what I'm trying to tell you is that they come to media and they create a narrative to shift the public opinion to their own direction. That's what they do. They want to twist the public perceptions to suit their own evil agenda and support their narrative. And they do that online. This is the issues that we are supposed to be focusing on. To debunk those lies that they put, those little lies they put here and there. Those little lies they put here and there. Those lies today are what Mazi Simon Ekpa is debunking in the Finnish court. So what we are supposed to do is the same way Mazi Simon Ekpa is defending activities of the Biafran people and exposing the evil of Nigerian government. In our reportage today, in our reportage on our platform, we are supposed to be exposing the same evil of Nigeria. When they blackmail us in the sit at home, that people die. The sit at home, every one of us knew that everything that happened that caused the death of people were all false flag. A false flag made up by Nigerian government. An independent investigation have been done on how Muhammad Buhari used the Ebobago to destroy and destabilize Biafra land. That investigation was done not by a Biafra, an independent body. Investigated and revealed how Muhammad Buhari used the Ebobago to destabilize the southeast through the governors. He used the governors, and our land was destabilized completely. The insecurity you are seeing in Biafra land today, it didn't just happen. When it started, you had Hope Uzodinma in ABC saying that this insecurity in Imo State has nothing to do with agitators. At the very first stage, when they started this, it was a battle between him and Rosa Sokorocha. It was a battle between him and Rosa Sokorocha, and each of them were using their security outfits, their security men that they formed. The thugs, they formed their own kind of tobaccos. Then, this man today, this Hope Uzodinma, confessed his own mouth that he's not IPOB. We are not part of what happened. But what did the government do? To show you that it is a government agenda, they continue to pin it on IPOB. Even when they murdered Goodluck, when they took the life of Goodluck in Imo State, every one of us know how Goodluck died, including Hope Uzodinma, who invited Goodluck, was confessing that it was a political killing. Hope Uzodinma confessed that it was a political assassination on Goodluck. But before the chief secretary of the state could say, the IG of police was already targeted on IPOB. The IG of police is already targeted on IPOB. And the Zoological Republic, they will go to any lengths. They will go to any length to frame up the Biafran people. Some of us don't know what. I don't know why it is difficult for people to understand what Nigeria is made up of. And that is why when I pity Finland for getting themselves into this very problem. I pity Finland. Nigeria is not a country that any human being on the planet Earth should rely on. It is not. Nigeria is not a country to rely on. When we are talking about the first flag of Nigeria, how Nigeria conduct their first flag, every one of us saw what transpired during the NSAS. NSAS was not to create Biafra. NSAS was not to create Oduduwa or Arewa. NSAS was for a better Nigeria. NSAS was a better Nigeria. And everybody supported NSAS, including we, the IB. Mazen Nandekano encouraged them and supported them for the good governance they were pursuing. But what did the government do? What did the government do? The government came after their own citizens who were singing national anthem and opened fire on them. Shot many of them dead. And up to this minute as we're speaking, they have not taken responsibility. The man that ordered the killing today is the one that is the president of the country, the drug baron. The person that ordered the killing of the innocent Nigerians who were calling for good governance, today he is the president of the contemporary Nigeria. Even though the CNN captured the shooting live, the CNN released a satellite video that captured the shooting that happened live. They were still denying. They were still denying. DJ Twitch had original video. She was at a point where it was happening. In fact, one of her friends died in her hand. And yet, her own evidence was not taken into account. If they were still chasing her to eliminate her, and that girl ran exile. DJ Twitch, except from Nigeria, she escaped and she went exile. In that same instance, we saw the federal government of Nigeria using the boss of Lagos State. Lagos State used their boss to carry hoodlums with machetes and guns to come and attack innocent protesters. And after they made that attack, they turn back and say that the protest is violence. We saw the same thing in Abuja. In Abuja, we saw the government agents use their jeep. We saw the DSS use their SUV to carry hoodlums. Gave them weapons to go and attack innocent protesters. That is not only one. You saw the shared group, when the shared group was protesting. The shared group was protesting, just a normal process. They were in Zaria, they were just having procession in Zaria. Procession. They were not attacking anybody. They were just doing their normal religious ritual and they were processing. The Nigerian military opened fire and killed more than 1,000 people. Not only that, they arrested their leader, shot his wife, and blinded his eyes. Locked him up until after much trial and dragging and whatever before he was now released. And there's no compensation for those who were dead. Even after that, when they came back to protest the release of their leader, they were still shot. This is the country we're talking about. IPOB from inception is not a violent organization, has never been. IPOB has never been a violent organization. They were only protesting with their flags. They were only holding their flags and banners. But Nigerian government, by themselves, turned the IPOB movement violent. They forcefully made them violent. They went ahead to proscribe a very legitimate group that we are calling for self-determination. And since they proscribed IPOB, has there been any country in the world that joined them in that proscription? Because IPOB is in all parts of the world. IPOB is in all parts of the world. Has there been any proscription in any? Have you heard that any country in the world, including Finland today, that is proscribing Simon Ekpa? They never proscribed IPOB. They never proscribed. But today, that same IPOB that Finland did not proscribe, Nigeria is presenting that IPOB to them as a terrorist organization, and they are accepting it. They are accepting it, and they are acting towards it. How does that add up? How does it add up? It does not matter what they do. It does not matter what they say. Wherever you are as a Biafran, we must continue to stand firm and stand strong. We must never give up. No matter the situation, no matter the circumstances, no matter what they say, we must continue to hold our ground. The only thing we need to do is to focus on the need for us to unify and become one strong force, indestructible. That is the only way we can defeat the enemy before us. That is the only way we can defeat the enemy before us. Staying together as a one unified force. Division cannot lead us to anywhere. Division cannot lead us anywhere. And every single division you see in this struggle is sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria. Just like what we are seeing the SAC DOS is doing today. When you see what the SAC DOS is doing, you don't need to be told who they are working for. You don't need to be told what they are doing. Because you see that everything they present, Nigerian government promotes it. Even when they know that those things are lies. Even when they know that once the zoological republic is presenting are lies, yet whatever they present, they promote it. They promote it. That is how bad it is. And that is why we must not relent in our effort. We must not relent. Every one of us must stand strong. Don't allow anybody to bully you. Don't allow anybody to misdirect you or confuse you. We have a battle ahead of us that we must win. And that battle, we must win the battle. As much as Simon Ekpa is in the court doing the needful, you and I, we also have a responsibility to do something on our own side. It is our responsibility to present Biafra as a disciplined organization that knows what they want. As an organization that respects human rights. We cannot be like the zoo. And we cannot be like what they think in their head that we are. We must respect the rule of law. We must be very careful in everything we do. Don't allow anybody to distract you. More especially at this time. At this time, it is a very critical time that we are in. A very critical time. This is not the time to play around. It is not the time to joke. The case of Biafra now is on the highest level. It's either you win it or you lose it forever. It is either you win it or you lose it forever. But by the grace of Chuks, we will never lose it. We will never ever lose it. No matter what the devil does, no matter what the enemies are doing, we will never lose it. On the case of Simon Ekpa, the battle line has been drawn. The battle line has been drawn, and we will do everything humanly possible as human, and let the remaining be for Chuks to decide. Before we proceed further, we are going to go to the latest updates that was put up by Dr. Mazanga. We are going to go to the latest update that he put up. The reason I always use Dr. Mazanga to use my message is because he is, I can say, one of the reliable source, most reliable source we know we can be able to use in the public as of now. Because he is one of the technical team operating from the outside. So as a member of the technical team, there are information that he has that we do not have. There are things he will hear that we will not hear. And we try to screen information through him. As I have always told you, it is not everything that comes to our table that we will share in the public. There are some information that is not supposed to be in public because of the nature of the case of our Prime Minister. We will not come here to begin to speak about things that will jeopardize the case. And that is why we are patiently waiting to get victory in this very case. We are patiently waiting until when it is time for us to dissect everything and throw it out. So many information today are still sketchy. And more especially now that Master Simon Ekpa is doing his defense. We don't have to create more problem for him. Monday is going to be a very interesting day. I'm going to televise it as they have promised, but I've not seen yet. So let us read this article that was written by Dr. Mazanga 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago, Dr. Mazanga wrote, he said, the prosecution case was a fishing expedition in the Sahara Desert where there is no water. This is what he calls this prosecution. That the prosecutions against Master Simon Ekpa case, prosecution case on Simon Ekpa was a fishing expedition in Sahara Desert where there is no water. Meaning, the case does not have anywhere to hold hand. It has no back, it has no backbone. And he wrote, I want to thank defense lawyer Tommy for his great cooperation and his impressive grasp of Finnish law. His work has exposed serious weaknesses in the intelligence presented to the court and opened a Pandora box concerning the allegation attributed to Abubakar Malami and the late President Muhammadu Buhari. Simon Ekpa is going to destroy the zoo, as he said. Simon Ekpa said, I will be the end of the Zoological Republic. And that end is near. In this defense, a lot is going to just pay attention and watch closely. General Musa is a well-trained officer. Surely, is this the best evidence that can be brought before a court? Claims upon claims without credible substance. This is what Nigerian government presented. Of course, we know. Claims upon claims without any substance. Newspaper publication. They say that, hearsay. That is what they brought as evidence against Master Simon Ekpa. The killers and those responsible for violence still linger in Nigeria. Yet, the prosecution wants the court to believe that everything started with Southeast Biafra. That's the greatest joke of all time. That the insecurity in Nigeria started from the Southeast. Southeast is the most peaceful part of Nigeria. Even up to now as we speak. Even up to this moment as we speak, Southeast still remains the most peaceful part of Nigeria. There has never been any record in the Southeast of mass kidnapping. Kidnapping of children. Kidnapping of school children. Kidnapping in the church. Kidnapping in the mosque. Kidnapping in the public places. Or in homes. There has never been any record of mass kidnapping in the southeastern part of Nigeria. We have had countless mass kidnapping in the northern part. We have had countless mass kidnapping in the Yoruba land. But only in the southeast, been any mass kidnapping in the southeast. Not even one. And yet, the prosecution council is making the court to believe that the insecurity in Nigeria started from southeast. That the southeast is the most insecure place you have in Nigeria. Where we have a part of Nigeria where bandits shot down an aircraft, military aircraft. We have a part of Nigeria where about 3 to 4 generals have lost their life in Nigeria recently. We have a part of the country where they kidnapped a general, a retired general, brought out the video, demand for ransom, and allow him to die in their hand. Murdered him. Not one, not two, not three. We are in a place where the terrorists overrun military camps and barracks. And yet, the country doesn't see it as a problem. The presidency doesn't see that problem. And they are busy tagging that to man Simon Ekpa. Imagine. Even in the southeastern part of Nigeria, every single thing that transpired within the time of the sit at home, we know who they were, we know the cause. And there are evidence to show who were perpetrating the evil. Just like Soludo have continued to do. They were saying that the people were forced. Man was detained, and people were still sitting at home. And what did Soludo do? Soludo began to enforce coming out. He began to force people to come out, destroying markets, putting fines on people. Look at what the Soludo security outfit have done. One of the members of Soludo was indicted in kidnapping, was indicted in ritual killing. Now, that one have run to Philippines. The guy has run to Philippines now. He's now in Philippines. He married in Philippines. One of the Ebubago group, the leader of Ebubago, what do you call him? Soludo, Seibo, the leader of his terrorist group, after taking innocent life, after taking so many innocent lives, indicted in kidnapping, indicted in ritual killing, he ran away. He is now in Philippines. None of this mean anything. Look at what Akodo people are doing to Anambra State today. Go and see what Ndakodo are doing. Go and see what Udogachi is doing. How many people they have murdered in cold blood? Every single day, there's no time they are not shooting innocent people. Udogachi have taken more life than you can ever imagine. How many people died in the sit at home? How many lives was lost in the sit at home? Which was still caused by the same government. But even outside the sit at home, they have taken more life than you can ever imagine. Even in the absence of Master Simon Ekpa. But someone still find a way around and begin to blame an innocent man. And Dr. Masanga is writing in his article, he said, the killer of those responsible, the killers and those responsible for violence still linger in Nigeria. Yet, prosecution want to the court to believe that everything started with Southeast Biafra. That everything started with South Biafra. In a recent security summit that was done, a former general came there and said and explained the problem. That the problem that you have in the South even started from 1970. And he enumerated how the federal government of Nigeria were the one responsible for that insecurity. The starvation of the people, the economic jihad against the people, and the loss of life of more than 5,000 youths from 2015 to date. The incarceration of innocent youth simply because they were asking for freedom. And nobody is asking for them. Nobody. The general even said that nobody dares go for their case. And none of these people is mentioning this. And Dr. Masanga wrote and said, to me, this has become a fishing expedition to find fish in the Sahara Desert where there is no water. That's exactly what they are doing. That is exactly. But you know, Nigeria think they can get away with everything. Whatever money can do, they can do it. Whatever money cannot do, more money can do it. That is what the Nigeria of today believe. The Nigeria of today believe that if they can buy their way into the Donald Trump camp, they can buy their way anywhere in the world. But when Chukwu Okike is in charge, when God say enough is enough, you cannot bribe everybody. When God say enough is enough, your bribe can no longer work. There comes a time when your money cannot save you. There comes a time when your money can, if you have watched Titanic, when the Titanic was sinking, if you have watched Titanic, when it was sinking, there was a rich man in that boat. There was a rich man in that boat. At the time he wanted to buy his way out, he brought out dollars in one boat and gave to one of the captain. And the captain threw back the money on him. There is a point in life where money cannot save you. And that is the point Biafra issue have reached. Chukwu Okike is on his throne, making decision on the case of Biafra. We are at a point where money cannot save you. And I agree 100% with what Dr. Masanga wrote. To me, this has become a fishing expedition to find fish in the Sahara Desert where there is no water. As for Finland, I have already prepared my legal case concerning the issues between us for consideration through the European Court of Human Rights. This is about international law, due process, and accountability. Dr. Masanga is already preparing to sue Finland on international court. And they will not escape it. Simon Ekpa will still sue. When he comes out, he will still sue. The Biafrans will still sue. Finland has the opportunity to lessen their problem. But I bet you the problem they have gotten themselves into, only the grace of Chukwu Okike will save them. And if they want to be redeemed or saved, there's an opportunity for them to begin to make things right. You never can tell. There's an opportunity. Dr. Masanga is writing, he said, as for Finland, I have already prepared my legal case concerning the issue between us for consideration through the European Court of Human Rights. This is about international law, due process, and accountability. And I support his move 100%. We shall challenge the legal and evidentiary foundation of this case. Through other international lawful means, Finland must understand that international law applies to everyone, including states. International law applies to everyone, including, and that is why my joy is that this case is not in Africa. That is my joy, that this case is not in Africa, let alone being in Nigeria. And there is no way everyone out there will be evil. There must be one of two people who have this conscience in them. There must be Chukwu Okike will definitely raise. He still has people on this planet Earth. No matter how corrupt the world is, there are still people that have fear of God. That we say no. Finland must understand that international law applies to everyone, including states. President Alex Tob, the best course is to stop this before the matter goes further to the European Court. The best course is to stop this before the matter goes further to the European Court. European Court of Human Rights in Paris, where I will nail you. Where I will nail you before the 27 judges. Because Alex Tob started all this. Alex Tob started all this. Alex Tob was not the president when Simon Ekpa started agitation. He wasn't the president. Alex Tob was not the president when Simon Ekpa started the agitation. He became a president in the midst of agitation. And all of a sudden, he gave in to this very blackmail. And just like the Bible says, when the Pharaoh that does not know Joseph came, things became different. And that is what we are seeing in Finland today. President Alex Stop. The best course is to stop this before the matter goes further to the European Court of Human Rights in Paris, where I will nail you before the 27 judges. It's an advice from David Yakora to Masanga, to David Yakora, Masanga, to Alex Stop. The case of Mazi Simon Ekpa is as clear as crystal. We know we live in a corrupt world. We live in a world where truth is very difficult for people to accept. We live in a world where lies is the order of the day. But at the same time, we know that Chuks lives. So, we cannot give up our faith. We can never lose faith. No matter what happens, no matter the situation, we will never give up. We will continue to remain positive. And we will continue to speak, continue to add our voice. And by the special grace of Chuks, a time will come when they cannot say no anymore. A time will come when there will be no place to hide. And that time is fast approaching. That time is fast approaching. All we need to do today is continue on our own path to do the little we can do. While Mazi Simon Ekpa is in the front line defending Biafra, wherever you are as a Biafran, you still have a role to play to defend the cause of Biafra. We have a role to play in defending the cause of Biafra. Our Prime Minister today is standing in for you, standing in for me. He is not facing the court of Finland for himself alone. He's not facing the court of Finland for his own personal interests. He is there for the interests of more than 80 million people. He is carrying our burden in his shoulders. And we have a responsibility to support him spiritually, support him physically, support him materially, emotionally, support him financially. Whatever you know you can do, this is the time for us to do what we have to do. And we cannot leave any stone unturned. We can never, ever leave any stone unturned. We can never live in regret. Don't come tomorrow and say, oh, if I would have known, I would do this. Oh, if I had known, I would do it. If you know that thing you want to do, you better begin to do it now. Whatever thing you know you can do to support Mazi Simon Ekpa, start doing it now. Start doing it now. As we continue to bring these important updates concerning the appeal proceedings in Finland, I want you to know this is not just another day of calendar. It is not just another day on the calendar. Every single day matters now. Every day that comes close matters. Every single day today counts. Every day counts. For those who have been following this case from beginning, you understand why every stage of this appeal matters. Today, we are in a very critical stage, in a stage of defense, where Mazi Simon Ekpa have to trash and make sure he defeats every single thing I brought before him. The attention is now increasingly focused on the defense. The whole world is focusing on the defense. What will the defense present? What argument will be advanced? What evidence will be emphasized? That is the question everybody is asking. What weaknesses in the previous judgment will the defense challenge? All these are questions that is going through the mind of everyone. And gradually, defense have opened yesterday. By Monday, most of these questions will be answered. What will the defense present? What arguments will be advanced? What evidence will be emphasized? What weaknesses in the previous judgment will the defense challenge? All these things are going to be clear as time goes on. And perhaps, most importantly, what will the next phase mean for Simon Ekpa and his appeal? What will the next phase mean for Biafra and this very appeal? These are some of the questions we will be examining today. We will try as much as possible to examine most of these questions today and going forward. But before we go further, I want to make something very clear. We are discussing an ongoing legal process. Always remember, we are discussing an ongoing legal process. We are not the judge. We are not the prosecutors. We are not members of the defense team. Neither are we members of the technical team. And therefore, we must distinguish between what we have been officially established, what has been officially established, what the defense argues, what the prosecution argues, and what supporters hope will happen. We don't have to rush into conclusion. That is why we are taking our time. We don't rush. This case is important. It is our case. It is not just about Master Simon Ekpa. So each time we are discussing these issues, we must distinguish between what has been officially established. And that is why I always make reference to Dr. Mazanga. At least he is one that is visible on media, that puts this in public that the public need to know. Then we elaborate on this and speak on that. We must distinguish what the defense argues, their argument, defense argument. What the prosecution argues, and what supporters hope will happen. These are things we are looking into. What distinction is extremely important. Because when you are dealing with a case of this magnitude, emotion can be very high, as it is now. I can bet you emotion is very high in the case of Master Simon Ekpa. For every single one of us that is in this course, emotion is very high. And it is not a joke. We are not joking. But justice must ultimately be determined through evidence, law, and due process. And that is what every one of us is asking. Justice must ultimately be determined through evidence, law, and due process. So today, I want us to look carefully at the situation. Let us look carefully at the situation. I want us to talk about the defense. I want us to talk about hope. And I want us to talk about resilience. I want us to talk about why supporters who care deeply, those of us that care deeply about Master Simon Ekpa, every one of us that care deeply about Master Simon Ekpa must remain peaceful. We must remain informed and engaged throughout the legal process. My fellow Biafran people, lovers of freedom across the world, let's take a step back. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, was convicted by the Pinjat District Court in Finland in September 2025 and sentenced to 6 years in prison on terrorism-related charges, alongside conviction relating to aggravated tax fraud and unauthorized legal practice. The court ruling was not the end of the legal process because an appeal was available. Even though he was convicted, that was not the end of the legal process because appeal was available. Our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, denied the major allegation against him. And that major allegation that he is battling with is terrorism. That's it. Every other thing they read, the tax issue and all the tax and the law practicing and all that, those are irrelevant things. Terrorism case is the major thing. That is what was brought. That is what Nigeria brought. This is the major case. Our Prime Minister denied the major allegation against him. His case subsequently moved into the appeal process. That is where we are today. Today, we are in appeal. And that is why the defense phase is so important. The defense case is very, very important. The appeal is an opportunity for the defense to challenge findings, arguments, the result in the original conviction. They will all be challenged. And it has started since yesterday. We continue from Monday. And this is precisely why supporters must understand something. Every one of us that is supporting something, we must understand something. An appeal is not simply a political speech. Because some of us think it's just to come out and speak eloquent and go. No. An appeal is not simply a political speech. It is a legal process. It involves arguments. It involves evidence. It involves interpretation of the law. And all this will be taking place in Finland as we speak. It started yesterday. It involves examination of original proceedings and the ground upon which judgment was reached. Everything needs to be tumbled. Everything needs to be shuffled. So when we say today that the defense is beginning, another important phase, that is what it is. We are talking about something that could have significant consequence for the eventual outcome. It is so important. So important. And that is why every Biafran is glued to their news. The whole world is glued to their news, including our enemies. They are also glued to their news, waiting for the bad news. But Chuks, in his infinite mercy, will disappoint them. When a defendant appeals a conviction, the defense has the responsibility of presenting its legal arguments and challenging the aspect of the earlier decision that it believes were incorrect. That responsibility lies on our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and his team. And they started doing the needful yesterday. For our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa defense, this is therefore a critical opportunity. The defense can focus attention on the evidence if they choose to. It can challenge interpretations. It can address how particular pieces of evidence were evaluated. As you see, Dr. Mazanka already dissecting everything in the public according to his own international laws understanding. It can challenge the legal conclusion reached previously, and it can explain its position regarding the accusations. This is where supporters like you and I need to pay close attention. We need to pay close attention to every single verified information that is coming out. It will help a lot for us to get a picture of what to expect. Not every headline tells you what is happening inside the courtroom. You are going to see many headlines, Biafran people. Content creators are going to come with their headlines. Those who are trying to chase cloud and build their platform will come up with different headlines. Some people are already making a headline. Simon Ekpa released. Simon Ekpa, pardon. We claim it in the name of Chuks, but that's not reality yet. That is our hope. And we know that time shall come for that. Not every social media post gives you the complete picture. Sometimes the most important arguments are highly technical. That is why, you see, even if you are in court, you and I, the ordinary people, if you are in court, there are so many things that will be said there that we can't even understand until it's been explained. That is why the lawyers are called learned fellow. If you're not a learned fellow, you might be in the courts. Certain things, decision will be taken, you wouldn't know how they arrived at that or when it happened. You wouldn't know until it's been explained to you. Sometimes a sentence that sounds insignificant to an ordinary viewer may have enormous legal significance. That is why I want everybody watching this program to remain patient. Remain patient. Stop chasing breaking news, wrong information in all platforms. Remain patient. You are going to get the right information once it is out. Do not rush to conclusion. Do not believe every rumor you hear. Do not allow social media speculation to replace verified information. Don't. And do not confuse a legal argument with a final judgment. Because some of us, even those who are in the court already, when they see the legal argument going on, they are already reaching conclusion. Do not confuse a legal argument with a final judgment. The defense is entitled to present its case. And I strongly believe they are doing that. They have started doing that. And they are going to do more. The prosecution is entitled to respond. And you see the prosecution have already laid down their case for days now. And the most important thing that Nigeria is not there to defend themselves or to defend whatever accusation are presented by somebody. They were supposed to be there to defend it, but they're not there. And the court will ultimately determine the matter according to law. That is the only thing we are praying for and asking for. We are not asking for too much. We are not asking for too much. We are asking for the court to determine the matter according to law. That is very important. That is one thing that we have all asked for. Let the matter be decided according to law. If you were facing a serious legal case and you had been convicted at the first stage, would you want your defense team to have every opportunity to challenge the decision? This is a question to every one of us. Assuming you are in the shoes of our Prime Minister, you have a legal case, and you have been convicted at the first stage, would you want your defense team to have every opportunity to challenge the decision? Of course, the answer is yes. And that is what we want. We want to exhaust every opportunity. Every single thing needs to be exhausted. If the case needs to be shifted back, let them and Master Simon Ekpa, I trust him, he's going to exhaust every legal means. He has prepared for this time to come. He knew that this time is coming, and he was prepared for it. He's not taken by surprise. There was a video. I'm going to look for that video and play. We are as Simon was saying in a meeting what they told him when he went to report. I'm going to try to get that video. I will try to get that video and play it, because it is very important for you to understand that he is prepared. He knew what was coming, and he was very well prepared for it. Like some of you will think that he was taken. Master Simon Ekpa, I don't think he was taken by surprise. Let me see if I can find that video, because it's very important. It's very important for us to know that our Prime Minister Master Simon Ekpa was prepared for the mission. He was prepared. He did not just wake up. He did not just wake up from the blues to get into this struggle. He is ready for it. He knew what was coming. He knew every single thing you are seeing today. I bet you Master Simon Ekpa knew that they were coming, and he was prepared for them. And that is why I respect him so much. That is one thing when I remember, I have no fear. I have no fear, because I know the man, Master Simon Ekpa, was well prepared for the case. He knew what he was going to meet. He knew what he was up against. And when the opportunity presented himself, he knew. He made that statement in a meeting, in a cabinet meeting. He made that statement. And when he made it, everybody laughed at it, but he never knew how serious it was. He made that statement and people laughed and thought it was just a fun. It wasn't fun. He knew what was coming, and he was prepared for the task. Just like Mazen Nandekan. Some of you think that the kidnap of Mazen Nandekan was something that happened without his knowledge. Mazen Nandekan knew that that time was coming. Mazen Nandekan knew that that time was coming. And he was prepared. He was prepared and he was ready to face it. And that was why when the time came, he answered the call. Remember, before Mazen Nandekan was taken, remember, we conducted 150 days prayer. How many of you remember? How many of you remember that Mazen Nandekan was taking us on 150 days prayer? And he told that prayer that something is going to happen. And after at the end of that prayer, we are going to march. To be precise, he said, after that prayer, we are going to march. And we prayed and prayed and prayed. And before they get to the end of the prayer, Mazen Nandekan was kidnapped. What does that show you? What does that tell you? Mazen Nandekan was not taken unaware. He knew what was coming. He knew very well that something was coming, and he was prepared. He prepared himself for the task. He did not run away from it. He did not hide from it, because he knew that that is the price that must be paid. And he paid that price. And today, he's still there, unshaken. Even when they threaten him with a death sentence, he is not shaking, because he prepared for the task. When Mazen Nandekan was saying that it is either Biafra or death, some of you thought it was just he was just trying to make fun or make you laugh or make you happy. He went further to explain it and say that it is either he gets Biafra or he dies fighting for it. That until Biafra comes, he's not giving up. Until Biafra comes, he's not giving up. He said it in ABC. And some of us did not understand when he said that. But today, we are now understanding better. We are now understanding better today. So I want you to pay attention to this very video I'm about to play. This is to tell you that Master Simon Ekpa knew what he's up against. He prepared for the task. He wasn't taken by surprise. Like some of you would think, oh, he wasn't taken by surprise. And I want to prove that with this video I'm about to play. I want you to listen to this video. This is an extract from a cabinet meeting. I want you to listen to the video. Listen to the video carefully. It's an extract from a cabinet meeting. You will hear what Master Simon Ekpa said. Sorry, the voice is on there. Hold on. Let me increase the volume. I think the voice is not there. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I want you to pay close attention. Pay close attention to this very video I'm about to play. Pay close attention. You are going to learn a lot. And then that will make you to go down on your knees and continue to pray for Master Simon Ekpa.
All right, thank you very much, COS. Today, as we get closer to the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra, we are making sure that we are hitting the ground running, putting every mechanism in place. And of course, as that is happening, we put a necessary structure that is not yet in place. The declaration of Biafra in Finland will spark international discussion.
Did you hear that? The declaration of Biafra in Finland will spark international discussion. He made this statement while we were preparing to go to declare Biafra in Finland. That was when this cabinet meeting was held. And in that cabinet meeting, he said the declaration of Biafra will spark international discourse. I want you to pay attention. Listen very carefully. The discussion is going to spark is the one that will shake the entire world. The discussion is going to spark is the one that will shake the entire world. Listen.
So, Odeshi has been activated. So we can stand. I'll tell you the fact. Odeshi has been activated. Because the discussion, like the police told me here, Simon.
Listen to what the police in Finland told Master Simon Ekpa. When Master Simon Ekpa went officially to inform Finland police that Biafrans are coming to Finland to declare Biafra. Listen to what the police told Master Simon Ekpa in Finland. When he went to report officially to the Finland police, listen and hear what Finland police told him.
Because the discussion, like the police told me here, Simon, you know that this is going to spark a very big international discussion. I say that's exactly what I'm looking for.
They asked him, Simon, do you know this is going to spark a very big international discussion? And he told them, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Listen.
If it didn't happen, listen, it's right. They went ahead
and he told them, if he didn't spark international discussion, that means he is not doing it right. So that is what he's expecting. That's it. What you are seeing today, he expected, he anticipated it, he knows it's going to happen. And the police warned him and told him that this is going to happen. And he said, that is what he wants. That if it doesn't happen that way, that means he's not doing it right. You see why I tell you that he's not taken unaware. He knows what he's doing. Listen.
I say that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, let us continue. So, on this note,
I want you to listen to it. I'm not going to disturb it again. Let it play through. I want you to pay attention to this very voice. Very short message. Pay attention.
All right, thank you very much, COS. Today, as we get closer to the declaration of the restoration of independence of Biafra, we are making sure that we are hitting the ground running, putting every mechanism in place. And of course, as that is happening, we put a necessary structure that is not yet in place. The declaration of Biafra international discussion. International discussion is going to spark is the one that will shake the entire world. So, Odeshi has been activated. So we can start. I am telling you the fact. Odeshi has been activated. Because the discussion, like the police told me here, Simon, you know that this is going to spark a very big international discussion. I say that's exactly what I'm looking for. If it didn't happen, it means they didn't do it right. They went ahead to ask me, you know, that the president is not doing it. I said that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, let us continue. So, on this note,
did you hear that? Did you hear that? They even told him, do you know that the president is going to come into, he's going to be away? He said he knows. So that is why I'm telling you that everything that you see happening is not, Master Simon Ekpa wasn't taken by surprise. He's aware. He knows the weight of what is coming. This is why the appeal process exists. As I was saying, if you were facing a serious legal case and you had been convicted at the first stage, would you want defense team to have every opportunity to challenge the decision? The answer is yes, of course. That is why the appeal process exists. The defense phase is important because this is where the legal team gets to put its position before the appellate court. This is not about shouting the loudest. This is not about insulting other side. This is not about threatening anybody. No. This is about presenting arguments. The level we are now is presenting arguments. Even when you are online talking, it is not the time to cause, abuse, and insult and fight. No. As much as Simon Ekpa is defending you and I in the court, you and I still have a responsibility to do our own part wherever we are. As much as Simon Ekpa is fighting inside the court, you and I have our own responsibility to do what we have to do. It is very important. This is not about arguments. This is about presenting strong arguments. It is about evidence. It is about the law. It is about facts and interpretation. And that is the approach I believe every one of us as supporters should encourage. Every one of us as supporters of Mazi Simon Ekpa, what we are speaking about today is talking about evidence because we have them in quantum. The rule of law, facts, and interpretation. That is where our focus lies. Not in insulting anybody, whether you agree with us or you don't agree with us. Not an insult. And as much as someone is making a case in the court, we are making our case on the media. Presenting evidence, facts, and we will continue to present them. This video I played now showed you that Finland authority were aware of everything that Mazi Simon Ekpa did. You saw him say it, that when he went to the police, they told him that this thing is going to spark international attention. And he said he knows, and that is what he wants. Now, do you see, there was nothing he did in the secret. There was nothing that Mazi Simon Ekpa did in Finland that was a secret. It was all in the open. So that is why sometimes you begin to wonder, what is that thing that Finland government saw that we want them to go and detain Mazi Simon Ekpa and call him a terrorist? Even when the Liberation Army was unveiled, it was announced in the public in Finland during our convention. It was launched. Because that was a secret. Let the lawyers do the legal work. Let them examine the record. Let them challenge what needs to be challenged. Let them defend their client, our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And let the court make its determination That is what due process means. And that is what we are asking for. Nothing more. We are not asking for any special treatment for him. We are not requesting for any special treatment. We are only asking for the rule of law to be respected. International law. Because there are many people watching this program today. There are many people watching this program today who are hoping for different outcome from the original judgment. There are many Biafrans having hope. And because there are many people that are having hope, waiting different outcome from this original judgment, there are people who believe that our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, deserves another opportunity for his case to be properly examined. There are supporters who believe the original conviction should be overturned. There are people who believe the defense will identify serious problems in the original case. These are our beliefs individually, and so many of us believe in all this. And there are people who simply want the appeal process to be fair and transparent. Those hopes are understandable. Different Biafrans, different groups have this hope, and those hopes are understandable. But hope should not be confused with certainty. Hope should not be confused with certainty. We can hope. We can pray. We can support. We can remain optimistic. But we should not announce victory before the court announces its decision. We should not announce victory before the court announces its decision. That is a very important distinction that we should make as Biafrans. Because if you genuinely care about the legal process, you must be prepared to respect the process, even while hoping for a particular outcome. So far, so good. We are following up, and we accept everything that has been done so far. We are following gradually. We are accepting all of them. So today, I want to say, every one of us, we must keep our hope alive. We must keep our hope alive. Even though we don't reach conclusion, keep our hope alive, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. But also, keep your expectation grounded in facts. Every single expectation we are having today as a Biafran, personally, my expectation is grounded on facts. What about you? What about you? Like those of them, I have seen some of them who are making video. Oh, that Nigerian government has also filed for appeal. Bunch of idiots and mad people. I see some of them making video. That Finland government have also filed for appeal, and they are asking for the extension of the increase of the sentence, and that the Nigerian government is also fighting. As much as Nigerian government is not in the court. They refuse to come to defend the evidence they provided. And those of you who are hoping that Simon Ekpa will serve the sentence, or the sentence will be increased, you'll be disgraced. You are entitled to have your hope, but it's your hope based on fact. Of course, it's not based on fact. Your hope is only based on the corruption that is in Nigeria. Your hope is based on the fact that Nigeria can bribe anything bribable. But if it is based on law, based on fact, there is no way Simon Ekpa will spend a day after this hearing. There's no way Simon Ekpa will be detained after this hearing. If everything is based on facts, on the law, there's no way. And that is where my hope lies. I keep my hope and expectation grounded on facts. My hope and expectation is grounded on facts. So those of them who come to them, you see Nigerian media, they are blind. The Nigerian media don't talk about it at all. They pretend it's not happening. And because they know what is going to happen if they go into it, the public opinion that is going to come out, and how The world is going to view the public opinion that is becoming out. And I bet you NBC have warned every one of them not to report in the case of Simon Ekpa. And that is why all of them are silenced. They are all silenced, waiting for the bad news if they can be able to buy their way. Anytime they finish their underground work now, they begin to report. If they cannot be able to do any underground work, they will not report. But Chuks is greater than them. The hope that we have as Biafrans is grounded on facts. We know that the court has the final say, but our hope will remain alive, very much alive, and our hope is grounded on facts. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, we must be resilient. This is where resilience comes in. Legal battle can be long. Like my brothers and sisters who are still in Finland, I appreciate every one of them. Some of our Biafrans who are still in Finland for is how many days now? Almost 8 days or 9 days still in Finland. And they're still going to be there until either 28 or even 30. I appreciate them for their resilience. Everyone that have made it to Finland, whether you are still there or you have gone and come back, I appreciate them. And mostly those who are still there, I thank every one of them. And I say, may Chuks continue to strengthen them. May Chuks continue to provide. If you have any support to give them, please don't hesitate. It's not easy. Many of us wish to be there, but either our job did not allow us or we didn't have the opportunity to be there. We couldn't be able to get the access to that place, either to get the papers or documents to be there. One thing or the other must have hindered us. Some of us are not strong enough to go. So anyone that have made it should be appreciated. And if you have any support to give anyone that is in Finland, don't hesitate to give that support. I don't care who the person is. I don't care. Whoever it is that is there because of Simon Ekpa up to this time, making sure that Simon, when he comes to court, he will look around and he will see Biafrans. Either those who are from Finland or from outside Finland or from other part of the world. Continue to pray for them. Give them your moral support. If you can give financial support, give. If you can give any material support, give. Any support you can give, continue to give them. It's not easy. Something you cannot do. When you see someone else do it, appreciate them. Forget about the sentiment you put across. Whether the person is doing it for selfish interest or doing it for another gain or for another reason, it's up to the person. But the most important thing we should appreciate for the fact that that person there, the presence of that person has something to do with us. It has an encouragement he gives to man Simon Ekpa there. How do you think he will feel when he look around and there is no Biafra around him? How do you think he will feel? That when he looks around, the people he's defending and fighting for, nobody is around him. Do you think he's going to feel okay? Of course he will not. That is why we must appreciate our Prime Minister. We must appreciate it. We must appreciate our Prime Minister. Appreciate everyone that have made it to Finland. My people, resilience is important, and this is where resilience comes in. Legal battle can be long. They can be emotionally exhausting. They can be frustrating. They can move slowly than supporters expect. Just like SEC, they sold 21st from 5th to 21st. Now we are hearing that it's going to extend outside 21st. It might even go more than you expect. And sometimes there may be moments when people become discouraged. A time might come when everybody will become discouraged. These are possibilities you can see on such a case. But resilience means continuing to remain focused. No matter what happens in this case, we must continue to remain focused. Resilience means not allowing frustration to destroy your discipline. We must remain disciplined. Resilience, it means continue to follow the facts. Resilience means continuing to support lawful legal representation. Resilience means remaining peaceful at all times. Remain peaceful, no matter how you are provoked, no matter what, remain peaceful. And resilience means understanding that one day, one hearing, or one argument does not necessarily determine the entire legal process. So, to everyone following this case, do not allow emotion to control your judgment. Don't. Don't allow emotion to control your judgment. Stay calm. Stay informed. Stay attentive. Stay peaceful wherever you are. And allow legal team to do its work. Allow the legal team of our Prime Minister to do their work. Don't create chaos out there. To every Biafrans, wherever you might be, every Biafran, no matter the group you belong, this message to every Biafran, whether you support Mazi Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister, because of his political message, because you believe in Biafra self-determination, because you believe he deserves a fair legal process, or simply because you believe every defendant deserves due process, there is something important we must remember at all times. There's something we must remember. We, the Biafran people, you and I, every one of us, there is something we must always remember as this case is going on. Our behaviors matters a lot. Our behaviors on social media, matters a lot. Our words matters. Our actions matters. The world is watching. The entire world is watching. And if we want the international community to take our concern seriously, then our advocacy must be disciplined. Disciplined. If we want to be taken serious, our advocacy must be disciplined. We must demonstrate that we understand the difference between activism and violence. We must demonstrate that political disagreement does not require hatred. Political disagreement does not require hatred. We can disagree. Among ourselves as Biafra, we can disagree. But it must not lead us to hatred, hating each other. No. We must demonstrate that demanding justice does not mean threatening anybody. You don't have to threaten anybody. You don't. We must demonstrate that supporting a defendant does not mean attacking the court. Don't attack the court. We don't attack the court. You see the way we speak here? Where necessary, we applaud Finland government for their good reputation. They have a very good, undoubtedly, they had a very good reputation until Nigeria came into the picture. All we are doing is to call their attention. Their reputation is on the line. We are not attacking them or attacking the court, but speaking truth to power. Speaking truth to power. If we are asking for justice, then our own conduct must reflect respect for justice. If we are asking for fairness, then our advocacy must be fair. If we are asking for due process, then we must respect due process. We must respect due process. It is important we continue to support our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa the best way we can. What does it actually mean? When we say support our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa during an appeal, what does that mean? When we call for his support, say support Simon Ekpa, what does that mean to you? When you hear support Mazi Simon Ekpa during an appeal, what does that mean to you? Support does not necessarily mean spreading every rumor. That is not support. Support does not mean attacking journalists. That is not support. You attack even your fellow Biafran activists. You attack them. You attack your fellow Biafran that are bringing information. That is not support. Attacking journalists that are bringing information about what is happening. That is not support. Support does not mean threatening prosecutors. That is not support. Support does not mean insulting judges. No, we don't insult judges. All we are doing, all we need to do is to call their attention to the rule of law. Follow the rule of law. A simple word. Follow the rule of law. Support does not mean encouraging violence. Support can mean something much more powerful. When we say support Mazi Simon Ekpa, it can mean something much more powerful than you can imagine. It can mean following the case diligently. Just like many Biafrans are following the case. That is a support. Following the case, that's a support. Support can mean sharing verified information. When you get verified information, you share with your fellows, you share with people. Share verified, not just rumors. That is what is called support. Support can also mean supporting lawful advocacy. Lawful advocacy. It can mean encouraging people to understand the legal issues. That is support. Just like we are doing here. This is what we call support. It can mean praying for everyone involved in this case. Praying for Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko. Praying for his team. Praying for everyone. Both Biafrans that have traveled to Finland from all this is our support. That is what support is all about. It can mean supporting the rights to legal representation. And it can mean remaining engaged until the legal process is complete. Remain engaged until the legal process is complete. That is support. Like our brothers and sisters you see in Finland today. They are still there engaging. Many Biafran media on their platform reporting every day. They continue to engage, enlighten people about the case. That is support. And that is meaningful support. Meaningful support. Not pushing rumor, blackmail, and propaganda. Fighting each other. That is not support. Claiming I'm the one that had to be there, the one that was there, did this and that. That is not support. So if you are watching from any part of the world in this program, wherever you are watching this program from across the world, whether from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand, you are watching from Africa, from Biafra land, you are watching from Iran, you're watching from Israel, you're watching from Ukraine, you're watching from Russia, wherever you're watching this program from, I want you to understand this. Understand this. You do not have to be in the courtroom to follow the case. You do not have to be inside the courtroom to follow the case. Just like some people who we are attacking and accusing some people of not being in the courtroom. The technical team of Mazi Simon Ekpa are in their various locations and they are making their contribution. We are in a technology time, a time of massive technology. We are in a time of technology. You can be in your room and sit in a case that is happening in London. You can be in your home, in your village, and you participate in a case that is happening in America. You don't have to be in the courtroom to follow the case of Mazi Simon Ekpa. You can remain informed. You can discuss it responsibly. You can support lawful advocacy. And you can keep the conversation alive without crossing the line into threat or violence. Every one of us, we need to educate ourselves, conduct ourselves, because they are watching you, they are watching me. They are watching you and they are watching me. We should be very careful. Now, let us identify some of the things viewers should watch carefully as the appeal progress. As the appeal progress, there are certain things we should watch closely for. Number one, what specific findings from the original judgment is the defense challenging? What specific finding from the original judgment is the defense challenging? These are questions we are going to be looking for answers to, focused on. This is critical. Number two, how does the defense interpret the evidence? Evidence is at the heart of any serious criminal case. So, from all we are gathering, so far so good. Things are going well, but we are going to see more on Monday. By Monday, we can be able to answer these questions appropriately. What specific findings from the original judgment is the defense challenging? As Monday comes, we will be able to. It just started yesterday, so by Monday, we can answer this effectively because this is critical. Number two, how does the defense interpret the evidence before them? Remember, evidence is the heart of any serious criminal case. So that is important. Number three, what legal arguments are being presented? Sometimes the most important issue is not simply whether something happened, but how the law applies to the facts. So we'll be looking at what legal arguments are being presented. Number four, how will the prosecution respond? Remember, an appeal is adversarial. The defense presents a position. The prosecution has its position. The court examines both. So, we will look at how will the prosecution respond to everything that the defense is going to present. And number five, so far so good, we know they are doing well, but by Monday, we are going to see more and be able to stand firm. Number five, what does the court ask? Questions from judge can sometimes help observers understand which issues are receiving attention. The question that the judge asks can sometimes help observers understand what issues are receiving attention. And number six, what will the final decision say? These are what we are looking up to. What is ultimately going to be the final decision? That is ultimately what everyone is waiting for, you and I. Until that decision comes, we should avoid claiming that the appeal has already been won or lost. You can't conclude, you can't say it has been won or lost until that final verdict is out. We must try as much as possible to avoid fake news. I know Nigeria is a master of fake news. As they are now, they are trying to manufacture one or two things, but they have not seen a ground to manufacture. They are at alert. When they wait a long time now, they will use their social media as they did in the past to go and concoct one thing and present and tell you that this is what happened. My people, this is extremely important. Our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa case has generated enormous attention online. And wherever there is enormous attention, misinformation can spread extremely quickly. One person posts something, another person copies it. Another person adds a dramatic headline. Then suddenly, thousands of people believe something that was never officially confirmed. Just like they did in his previous case, they said Simon Ekpa said that he's a content creator, and the entire nation carried it. All the media houses used as a headline that Simon Ekpa said that he's a content creator, something that never happened. Please do not fall into that trap. Don't join them to spread false information. Please don't fall into that trap. If you hear Simon Ekpa has been released, ask who confirmed it. If you hear Simon Ekpa Njobo, the Prime Minister of Britain, has been released, ask who confirmed it. If someone said the court has cancelled everything, ask where is the official court information. If someone said the defense has already won, ask, has the court actually delivered a decision? Some of us, we don't even ask questions. Once we see the topic, we share. You hear share. You don't even ask questions. You don't even scrutinize it yourself. I see many people already posting such kind of useless informations. What are you going to gain from passing wrong information, distracting people unnecessarily in such an important and emotional case? This is how we protect ourselves from misinformation. I just gave you a clue how to protect yourself from misinformation. And this is how we protect the credibility of our advocacy for Biafra and for the freedom of masses. It is very important. There is another dimension that we must understand. This case is being handled in Finland. That means the proceedings must be understood within the Finnish legal system. Within the Finnish legal system. The original conviction came from the Pijat Hamar District Court. The appeal is therefore an important part of judicial process. The significance goes beyond one individual. It is not just about Simon Ekpa. It is about their judicial system. It is on the test. Their judicial system is on the line. It is also raises question about how European legal system handles alleged activity conducted through social media. This case is very sensitive. It has everything. That's why I tell people, whatever be the outcome, affect me and you that are living abroad. Whatever be the judgment they pass, it affects more especially Biafrans that are living in Europe. If you're living in Europe, anything that becomes the outcome, if you are a Biafran agitator, it will affect you. Whatever decision I take will affect every Biafran agitator living in Europe. It raises question about how European legal system handle alleged activity conducted through social media and from European territory, but connected to events occurring thousands of kilometers away. Do you see how it connects you? When I tell you that Biafra is in the court, you think it's Simon Ekpa. It is not Simon Ekpa. It is 80 million people that are there. And he is defending us. Whatever be the outcome affects all of us, including our Supreme Master Nandekan, who was also broadcasting in London and was later kidnapped in Kenya. So this case has everything to do with every one of us. You don't understand. That is why this case is attracting attention across the world. The allegation involved activities connected to southeastern Nigeria. The defendant has been based in Finland. The evidence includes online activities and alleged connection extending across borders. He was not visible there. He was not physical there. Nobody saw him physically perform anything or do anything there. It was just online broadcast, I'm saying it was. So this is also a case with an international dimension. A case that it has international dimension. It is not a local case. And wherever the eventual legal outcome, whatever the eventual legal outcome, people around the world will study how the Finnish court approach the evidence and the law. The entire world are going to use it. They are going to use it as a reference in time to come. Many countries of the world will use this case as a reference when it arrives to them. They use a reference. That is why it is very first time it's been done in Europe. This is the very first time Finland is handling this kind of nature of case. Finland has never had a case of this nature. Finland has never in their history had a case of this nature. So this is going to be a reference in law in Finland. And that is why the whole world is paying attention. In Europe and entirely, they are paying attention to see what is going to be the outcome. Now, let me make something very clear to every one of us that is watching wherever you are watching from. There is a difference between discussing political aspiration and discussing criminal liability. There is a difference. Therefore, people can have political belief. People can advocate for self-determination. People can disagree with government. People can campaign for constitutional change. But when criminal allegations are involved, the court has to determine whether the specific legal requirement of the alleged offenses has been established. And in the case of Simon Ekpa, it is not established. It is not. I am saying my view from the information available because we are in the agitation. That is why we must keep the political discussion and the legal discussion intellectually separate. You can support the idea of Biafra agitation. You can criticize the Nigerian government. You can discuss historical grievance. You can advocate for political change. But none of those automatically determine the outcome of a criminal appeal. The court will look at the legal issues before it. And that is why the defense matters. I'm just giving you the clue of what the defense need to be dealing with, what they're going to be dealing with going forward, the battle before them. And I know that Chuks will put word into them. And definitely we shall overcome. A message of unity. Biafrans, this is also a moment to talk about unity for all of us. It is a moment of unity for all of us. We may disagree about personalities. We may disagree about strategy. We may disagree about political organizations. We may even disagree about individual leaders. But disagreement does not have to destroy our humanity. We must not allow disagreement to destroy our humanity. We must learn to disagree without hatred. I say it over and over again. We must learn to debate without threat. Don't threaten anybody. You can debate. You can debate. When I come online, I say it, I leave it open. Anybody, if you have a question to ask, if you have a superior argument, come with it. I'm ready to engage you and debate you. I will only remove you when you begin to constitute nuisance or you begin to speak lies or abuse or insult my sensibility. I will take you out. But if you can respect yourself, speak respectfully, I will give you all the time on the world that you need to make your statement, and after doing, I will respond. We must learn to debate without threat. We must learn to advocate without violence. And we must learn to distinguish between criticism and destruction. If our movement is going to be taken seriously internationally, discipline is essential. It is not optional. Discipline is essential. It is not optional. We must be disciplined. So let this appeal proceed. Let this appeal process remind us, every one of us, the appeal process of Mazi Simon Ekpa and Joko, the appeal process of Biafra in Finland, which Mazi Simon Ekpa is the one standing in for us. Let this process remind us, unity does not mean everybody think the same way. Let this appeal case of Biafra in Finland that Mazi Simon is standing in teach us that unity does not mean everybody think the same way. Unity means people can disagree and still treat one another with dignity. That is unity. We can disagree, yet treat one another with dignity. And to the defense team of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, a message to the defense team of Mazi Simon Ekpa. I know that many of them they are watching us, they're following, they're listening, and they're getting information from our various platforms. I also want to address the defense team. Your work is now extremely important. The people following this case around the world may not understand every technical legal argument. They may not understand every procedural issues, but they are watching, they are listening, and they are hoping that the defense has every opportunity to present its case. So the message is simple. Present the strongest legal argument available. That is our demand. Our demand to the defense team is present the strongest legal argument available. This is a matter of life and death. It's a matter of the life of 80 million people. Our demand is present the strongest legal argument available. That is our demand to the defense team. Challenge what you believe should be challenged. Examine the evidence. Address the legal issues. Protect the right of your client and allow the court to make a decision. That is the role of legal representation. That is our message for the legal team. And every one of us that is supporting Mazi Simon Ekpa, whether you are a Biafran or non-Biafran, humanitarian, any place you are, and you are supporting Mazi Simon Ekpa, a message to all of us, the supporters: do not give up. Don't give up. But also, do not become reckless. Do not turn frustration into hatred. Do not turn disappointment into violence. Do not turn political activism into threat. The strongest support you can give at this moment is discipline. The strongest support we can give Mazi Simon Ekpa at this point is disciplined support. Follow the proceedings. Ask intelligent questions. Share verified information. Support lawful advocacy. Encourage peaceful engagement and keep your eyes on the legal process. That is for us, those of us who are following. And someone may ask, what if the outcome is not what people expect? This is a difficult question, but a responsible question. This is a difficult question, but a responsible presented should address it. What if the outcome is not what we expect? It is a difficult question, but a responsible presenter should address it. What happens if the appeal does not produce the outcome supporters are hoping for? It's a question. We must still respect the legal process. And if there are further legal avenues available under Finnish law, which I believe there are, they must be considered through the appropriate legal channels. Likewise, if the court reaches a decision favorable to Mazi Simon Ekpa and Joko, that decision should also be understood carefully rather than turned into misinformation or exaggerated claims. The principle is simple. Let the law speak. We need to wait and let the law speak. Our job as observers is to understand what the court actually says, not what we wish it had to say, not what social media claim it said, but what it actually says. That is where we should focus. Can the defense change the direction of this appeal? This is a question that some people are asking. Can the defense change the direction of this appeal? This is something we cannot answer. We certainly cannot answer this with certainty before the court decide. Even though we have our minds, we have our beliefs and hopes. But when you say, can the defense change the direction of this case? This is something we cannot answer with certainty before the court decides. But we can say this. The defense has an opportunity to present its argument. The appeal process gives the court an opportunity to examine the case. And supporters have an opportunity to follow the proceedings carefully. That is where we are. We are following up. We don't want to speculate. We don't want to push anything. So rather than declaring victory prematurely, let's watch. Let's listen. Let us analyze. Let's wait for verified development and let's remain hopeful. Most importantly, we must remain hopeful. We must remain hopeful. Now, if you are watching this live stream right now, I want you to do something for me. If you're watching this live stream, I want you to like this program. Like it. Give a thumbs up to the program, wherever you're watching. I want you to like this program. Secondly, I want you to share this program. Whether you are watching on TikTok, on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, you're watching on X, like the program and share the program. If you're watching on TikTok, tap on the screen. Tap on the screen. Very important. Tap on the screen. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, try as much as possible to subscribe. Do that. Subscribe to the channel. Most importantly, I want you to go into the comment section. Go to the comment section right away and answer these questions. Go to the comment section and answer this question. Put the answers down within yourself. We are learning. And remember, those who are not even Biafrans are watching and they are studying everything we are doing. Do you expect the defense to challenge the evidence? Comment on the comment section, yes or no. Do you expect the defense to challenge the evidence? Do you expect stronger arguments concerning the interpretation of the law? Do you expect the defense to challenge the original findings? Or do you simply want the court to carefully examine every aspect of the case? Tell me in the comment section. Put down your own word in the comment section. Let's see. Let's read. I want to hear from you. Put down your word in the comment section. Many people are watching. Those who are not Biafra, they want to see your line of view of thought. My fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world, wherever you are. As we are rounding up on this program, the road ahead may not be easy. Legal process can be complicated. Appeal can be lengthy. and emotions can run high. But this is precisely why discipline matters. If you believe in justice, stand for justice. If you believe in fairness, stand for fairness. If you believe in due process, respect the due process. If you support our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, support him peacefully and responsibly. If you support Biafra self-determination, advocate for it peacefully and responsibly. If you disagree with this position, you also have the right to express your disagreement peacefully. So if you disagree with us, you still have your place. You have the right to disagree. That is how a serious conversation is built. And we are ready to build that serious conversation. So my fellow Biafrans around the world, wherever you are watching from, we continue watching the case of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the appeal proceeding in Finland. The defense phase is an important stage, and that is where we are now. The defense phase is an important stage. That is where we are. The hopes are high among us supporters. The road may still be long. The resilience means staying focused. Resilience means staying informed. Resilience means remaining peaceful. Resilience means refusing to be defeated by rumors, frustration, or fear. So let us continue to watch. Let us continue to ask questions. Let us continue to analyze evidence, every single evidence before us. Let's continue to analyze. Let us continue to support lawful legal representation. And above all, let justice take its course. From where you are watching me today, I want you to remember, from wherever you are watching this program, whichever country, whichever location you're watching it from, I want you to remember, do not give up hope. Let the law speak. Remain resilient. Stay informed. Remain peaceful. And remember, the legal process is not over until court has spoken. The legal process is not over until court has spoken. So I urge you in the name of Chuks to continue to do your part. And by the grace of Chuks, we shall overcome. Thank you so much for being part of this program. I appreciate everyone that have glued, have played a part in one way or the other in this program. We must continue to advocate for the freedom of our Prime Minister. We must continue to make our contributions. We must continue to remain focused. Do not allow yourself to be distracted. No matter what happens, no matter the challenges, we shall overcome. And we will continue to advocate for the freedom of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. May Chuks continue to guide and protect every single one of us that have been part of this program. May Chuks continue to protect our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nando Ukanu. And may Chuks continue to protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Thank you so much for being part of this program. We are going to try to come back again in the evening. On our evening section, we are still going to handle some other important informations that we are not able to touch in the morning section. In the evening section, we are still going to be back and we will touch most of those items. So stay blessed, stay focused, and may Chuks guide and protect all of us. Thank you so much for watching. See you again later in the evening. Bye, everybody.
the storm and the struggle, we carry no faith. Though the walls may be high and the chains may be strong, your voice echoes louder every freedom song. Oh, we remember your courage, we remember your stand. For the people, for the future, for the promised land. Even when you're not here, your spirit still leads in the hearts of the people, in our words and deeds. Oh, we don't go tired, we don't go fall through the fire. We stand tall. We know He will be free. Oh yeah. In our hearts, in our dreams, we believe. Simon Ekpa, we call your name. Born for the struggle, born for the flame. We know He will be free. One day, through the night, we go see better day. We miss your voice, your guiding light. But your spirit keeps the fire burning bright. From the streets to the villages, the message go round. Every voice, every soul in a freedom sound. No prison can silence what the truth has begun. Like the rising of the moon and the shining of the sun. Hey, they can try to hold you down, but they don't understand. This is bigger than a man, it's the cry of a lion. From the learners to the youth, everybody know. Freedom is a seed and it's already grown. Oh, we go rise again. We go fair through the pain. Your voice we hear. We know He will be free. Oh yeah. In our hearts, in our dreams, we believe. Simon Ekpa, we call your name. Born for the struggle, born for the flame. We know He will be free. One day, through the night, we go see better day. We miss your voice, your guiding light. But your spirit is the fire burning bright. Even in absence, you're never gone. In every prayer, in every song, your strength lives on, your fire remains. Breaking the silence, breaking the day. Sunshine, freedom, freedom, we cry. Freedom, freedom, we rise. We know He will be free. Oh yeah. In our hearts and our dreams we believe. Simon Ekpa, we call your name. Born for the struggle, born for the flame. We know He will be free. One day, through the night we will see better days. We miss your presence, feel the light. And together we go win this fight. He will be free. He will be free. Biafra spirit. Unity, progress, and equity.